Hey y'all, so this is kind of a part two to another video that I did regarding being a single mom and an unplanned pregnancy. So if you'd like, you can check that one out if you're going through that also in your life. But this story is about God sending me my spouse. So this kind of goes back with the first video of being a single mom. I had been a single mom for a while. My son was, I want to say, maybe like 15 months old or something. He might have been a little bit older. But I was living in an apartment, and yeah, I had family helping. My parents would help out. But I mean, I did the brunt of everything with him. No, he was two. He was going on two. Anyways, so um, I remember distinctly what happened. So I lived on the second floor of this apartment. And every day when I would get my groceries, I would have to bring my son up and then say, stay here. I have to get all the groceries. And then I'd have to go down and I'd have to take like 3 or 4 trips, depending on how many bags I had. And I remember this one time walking up those steps. Hopefully, don't cry. Walking up those steps with all the bags in my hand and thinking in my head, it was kind of me praying, God, I can't do this forever. Because it was hard, y'all. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. There was so many good times, but it was not easy being a single mom. Um, so I don't know if it was that same day, honestly, but either that same day or it was shortly around that time. Um, Something was happening. I was trying to discipline my son, calm him down, and he wouldn't have it. And he was throwing a tantrum, and I just emotionally couldn't handle it anymore. So I went in my bedroom and I shut the door and I had my own timeout and I started crying my eyes out. And I said, God, I need help. And I just kept saying, I need help. And in my heart, I meant I needed a dad for my son and I needed a partner for me. But I didn't want to come off selfish to God because I felt like I was always seeking a man to fulfill me or to provide for me when God was trying to show me he was my provider through the season. So in my heart, I meant I wanted a guy for, obviously being the dad and my spouse, but I didn't say that, but of course, God knows our hearts. So I verbally said, I need help. And I said it over and over as I cried. And then I got up and I went and hugged my son. Well, that was a Sunday. The next day was a Monday. I went to work. My my job was inside sales and we sat in cubicles and I was, working at a computer. I had to make calls. Um, and that morning, my computer was off, and there was a guy from the computer IT area of the business doing stuff with the computers and doing stuff with the wires. And um, he just said, he told me that he was hooking up another computer next to me because they were putting in a new cubicle. So he said that my computer's just going to be down for a little while. So I just sat there. I actually had a little baby women's devotional that I went through because they didn't like us being on our phones. So I wasn't on my phone. Um, so I was looking through that and he started just kind of small talking with me and chit chatting. And I like kind of responded, but it wasn't anything serious. Well, he was over there for maybe 5 minutes, probably less than 10. And then he turned my computer back on and he left. Well, then I was getting everything ready and I was opening everything and opening my calls and opening my emails. And I rarely ever had emails with this past job. So when I opened my email, I actually had an email in my inbox, which I thought was peculiar. So I opened it and it was from that guy that was doing the computer wiring stuff. And the email said, I don't know what you're doing today, but I wanted to see if you want to grab lunch. Y'all, instantly, I said to God, is this the answer to my prayer from last night? And as I freaked out in my cubicle silently to myself, I said another prayer. And I said, okay, God, I said, if this is the one and the answer to my prayer, let him ask me to go get sushi. I don't know why, that just popped in my head. So I told him I couldn't that day. And y'all, honestly, it's because I had a date with somebody through one of those stupid dating app things like Plenty of Fish. I don't even know if they exist anymore. So I didn't want to go on 2 dates in one day. I'm being all honest. Anyways, so um so funny. So I told him no. I didn't tell him why I couldn't, but I just said, look, I can't today, but I can Wednesday. And I said, what were you thinking? So he said, I've been in a kind of weird mood lately. How's sushi? I was crying. I had goosebumps. And I had to hold it all back because I didn't want him to think I was crazy. So I had a victory dance in my cubicle, in my chair, alone with God, praising him. I was so excited because I already knew. And this guy had no idea. So I responded and I said, sushi is perfect. And the story is he is now my husband and he adopted my son. And he was going through a divorce, so he also had 2 children. So he already, understood the whole single parent thing. And then together we had a daughter. So together we have 4 children. And it was totally God. God put the whole thing together. I finally surrendered. I kept trying to find my guy, and they were all not the right one. So I finally surrendered to God, and then to God finding me the one. So I say all that to provide hope and encouragement that if you feel like you haven't found the one and you keep getting in broken, toxic relationships, try God, try surrendering, try allowing Him to give you the right person for you. And I didn't go in without a fight. I did, question some things when God was like, this is your husband. I was like, I don't know about that. First thing, he's 10 years older than me. I was like, I don't know about all this. But eventually I surrendered. And I'm so happy I did. My husband is a huge supporter and a rock. And like any relationship, yes, we've had our ups and downs, but he's always been my rock. He's been there for me through everything, through all my healing, inner healing journey that he didn't even cause. I just had to, he's witnessed it all. Um, so just, I say all this to encourage you that God has someone out there for you if your desire is to be married. And he will see it through if you allow him. But if you keep getting in the way and you keep letting these toxic people in your life, or you keep going back to exes who are toxic, then you might not get that person. So you have to allow God to bring that person to you. And don't have all these things like, he's got to be this and he's got to be this and he's got to be this, because that might not be what God has for you. So keep an open mind to the man God has for you. All right. Y'all have a wonderful, blessed day. Thanks so much.